Well, now I'm starting my Christmas tradition videos. Now, this is a tradition that I've been doing since like the 2010s. Every December, I always watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, and the Michael Keaton Jack Frost film. It's not much, but this is something I just like to do. I'm going in the order of the day of the month of the two movies and two specials release. It was December 1st was National Lampoon's Vacation, and which means today it's a movie that has my all-time favorite opening credits. I remember when I saw those opening credits with my brother, we could not stop laughing over how funny that was, all that horrible things that happened to that Santa Claus. But unfortunately, we saw this on the big small screen because we did not go see it in theaters. We rented it and we recorded it off HBO. I didn't finally see this until its 30th anniversary. Well, on December 9th, 2019, that's when I finally got to see it on the big screen. So 30 years later, I finally got to see it on the big screen. The movie is hilarious. It is a Christmas classic. It did get 2 thumbs down by Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert, but forget them. Okay, after the opening where all that horrible things happened to Santa, a lot of that could have been shortened in if he just would have gotten the reindeer to park it right next to the chimney. That way he wouldn't have fallen off the roof, almost got crushed by the rolling snowman, zapped by the broken bulb. He would have just settled for the brick on the head, and the toy soldier cannon hitting him in the face and then shoot through the ceiling. And if you pay attention when he gets electrocuted, there's a skull on that puff thing on his Santa cap. Well, apparently whoever was in there had died when the fire roared out because he got turned to ash. Okay, after that, it's Clark and his family, the Griswolds, heading out to go get a tree. They do run into some trouble when this guy starts riding them. Clark gives him the finger, and then they almost slam into them to get back at them. But then when Clark goes around them, they go back around him. He tries to do it again. He goes underneath the dang truck, the trailer of a diesel, which I believe logs. He goes off-road when he gets out. And then they go on foot to find the perfect Christmas tree. When they find it, it's got that glow. It's gigantic. And then Russ says, "Did you bring a shovel, Dad?" And he realized he forgot. Now this, according to what I saw on the internet, the answer to how Clark got is he went and got a shovel from this lot and then dug it up. That's why, because he says that to Cousin Eddie. But that scene was cut, and for many years, I was under the impression that Clark went into a fit of rage, grabbed it, and rocked it left, right, until it just ripped out the root, and ripped it out of the roots, and then dragged it back. And with Clark's rage fits, yeah, oh man, I can easily see him doing that. When he gets at home, we get introduced to his 2 neighbors, who he is not a fan of. "Hey, Clark, where are you going to put a tree that big?" And then he says that comment back, "Bend over and I'll show you." Y'all on nerve talking to me like that? And Clark asked he wasn't talking to you. Oh, and Lane is no match for Clark Griswold. Okay, now if you pay attention to the tree, you obviously can easily see that it changes size throughout the movie. When they get it, it's gigantic, but as time goes on, it gets a lot smaller to a regular-sized tree. And, well, the relatives are coming, but first they go to the mall, and Clark meets this beautiful woman. He's smitten by her, he's saying all this stuff. He tells her that he and his wife are divorced, and then Russ shows up and ruins everything. Oh, goodness. Well, Clark, the main focus is Clark wanting to get his Christmas bonus so he can put in a pool, and he already put down a down payment, and there wasn't enough money in his account to cover that check that he wrote, so he's really waiting for that Christmas bonus to get here. When the relatives show up, well, they basically do what relatives do, is show up and complain. Now, there's another scene, the part where Clark is constantly putting up Christmas lights. He gets them all over his house. But unfortunately, when he plugs it in, nothing happens. Then we find out it's connected to the laundry room. I believe that's the laundry room, and it turns out the light switch is really what is needed to click them on. Because whenever I think it's one of the mothers clicks it on, that's when the lights come on. Ellen sees it. She tries out enjoy, but Clark's busy. I'm honest, I don't know how he did not notice, but it causes a blackout. It's blinding the neighbors when they're running in his stuff. But whenever the light switch gets flicked off, whenever Ellen goes in and flicks it on, he plugs it in and he's happy. But when he goes out, he goes into a fit of rage, beating his Santa and reindeer props. And behind the scenes, Chevy Chase really did break one of his fingers when he punched that Santa, but he kept going. But that's the real reason why he was so mad. Whenever Ellen finally puts two and two together, what's making the lights come on, she does it right when he's like, oh, that's when Cousin Eddie shows up with his family. Clark is not happy. He also meets the new dog, Snots. I would not. Okay. He is cute in a number of scenes, but yeah, with a name like that, you're always going to be paying attention to what his face before you pet his head. Okay. Now my dad had a Mandela effect with this scene, is whenever Cousin Eddie was talking about the yak woman, he always say he's barking for the yak woman. Now, she's not much to look at, but she's a hell of a cook. But that's not what Eddie says. But I like my dad's Mandela effect better than what they say in that. I still like what he says. He's a sweet girl and a hell of a cook. Oh, goodness. Well, my favorite part of the movie is when Clark uses that spray on that little metallic disc thing, that slate, that little metal slate, I don't know what it's called. But he makes him go so fast. And war and lightning and fire on the dang snow. Fire show would have been awesome if they would have put that in there. He's going through the woods, warp speed, dodging all those trees. He dodges cars when he gets on the road, and then crashes into a Walmart, I believe, a charity, one of those charity things. And despite the fact he's really far away, it shows the family. It's like they actually saw that, but despite all that stuff blocking their path. I don't know how they did that, but they did. Oh, man. My dad's favorite part was when Clark stands in that window and it hallucinates, or he just has that fantasy of the swimming pool back there, because Dad would always sing that song that plays. I'm not going to sing it because I might screw it up, but you get that all happy, the family's there, they're all happy, Eddie's there, he's still annoying Clark, but then they all vanish. That beautiful woman at that store is there, she undresses, and right when she's about to rise, it's PG-13, so they can't show it, and then Clark's fantasy gets interrupted. Oh, man. Well, Clark learns that Eddie has not worked in 7 years. He had to sell off everything, and now they live in a crappy RV. So he decides to be generous and help Eddie out to give the kids a Christmas. And that's very sweet of him, because his wife is always there for him. She's always supportive, and even though Clark loses his temper a lot, in the end, he still, to me, has a heart of gold. But he still knows how to make you laugh when he loses his temper. That's what makes him so special. Oh, goodness. When they have dinner, Eddie and his wife left it was the turkey in there too long, so when they cut it, and it's all hollow, bones and everything. The only thing that's left is the heart. Oh, man. Okay, and then, oh yeah, Olive Oil is in this. So is Betty Boop, the woman who voices both characters. She appears in this. And I had no idea that was her, even though the voices are so similar. I didn't know it was her until, like, maybe the late 2010s when I looked the character up. I'm like, oh, man. Oh, goodness. She wraps her cat, and whenever it gets out, it starts chewing on the Christmas lights when Clark, on the tree. When Clark plugs it in, I remember seeing that in the TV spots a lot, so I kind of didn't know that joke was coming. But, yeah, that poor animal, it just burnt off. It just blew up and further. He did a mark on the carpet with its arms and legs, with not all four legs spread out. And then later, the guy from, what was it? I think it's what's that movie? What the heck is that guy's name? Well, Oh God, or is that what the name of that movie is? No, it's not. Hold on, I'll be right back. some reason, but he lights a cigar, throws the match behind, ignites the tree, and Clark tells him, look what you've done. He turns around, his back is on fire. Clark rips a curtain off, puts him out, and then Clark gets his the letter he's been expecting, but it's not his Christmas bonus. It's a membership for the jelly, whatever the heck that was, and he goes ballistic, and I don't mean in an X versus Zebra kind of way. He just goes crazy and tells everybody that he wants his boss here so he can tell him all this mean stuff. He's like throwing his arms, kicking around, and then he demands to know where the Tylenol is. But Cousin Eddie's taking what he's saying seriously, so he gets in the RV and goes after his boss. Clark then goes and replaces the tree by chopping down his neighbor's tree. Now, whenever it comes down, it smashes their window. But for when I first saw this, I don't know why, but I actually was under the impression that whenever Clark cut it down, he just smashed it against their window just for the heck of it. Like, probably seeing that they were, it'd be pretty funny that he cut it down, grabbed it, and then looked in the window and saw them having this peaceful night, and he just lost his temper, so he just smashed it through their window through the heck of it just to ruin their night. And, oh man, Clark then stops his family from leaving, and then he finally gets cooled down by his father, and he basically starts reading that nice little Christmas tale until Cousin Eddie shows up with his boss. And that's when his boss reveals that he did cut all those bonuses, but Clark was mad at him for not telling everybody. He gives him a nice little speech, and then his boss now is flooded with guilt. So he gives him his bonus, and he adds 20% to it, which makes Clark faint, and that 20% will obviously help cover the pool and all the damage is done to the house. Not to mention Clark should have medical bills. When he gets locked in the attic, whenever his wife pulls the attic door, he just drops down. You would have figured he would have broken both his legs if he would have landed the way he landed. Heck, he falls off the roof when he's putting on those Christmas lights, lands in a bush. And yet, he's still perfectly fine. Of course, behind the scenes, he broke one of his fingers. Oh, goodness. Well, Eddie was emptying out his pooper, censorship, into the sewer, which kind of gas to build up, so when the uncle throws the match again, it blows up, it goes flying! They all fall down, including the police! But then they see the Santa ornament, which somehow went straight up, then swirl around to go across the moon. I don't know how that happened. And then everything is now all happy, and Clark's like, I did it. You didn't see the end, a bulb bursts, it goes out, it ends with Clark and the dog Snots. The dog that chased out the squirrel from in there. Oh man, it's such a I love it whenever they like that play shuffle, what do you call it? It tips over. They maul Elaine from Seinfeld. You wanted this door, you're gonna have to break the you wanted this house, you're gonna have to break the door. And the SWAT team shows up. Okay, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is awesome. It's hilarious. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it. It's not my all-time favorite Christmas movie, but it's definitely on my top 10. It is definitely on my top 10 favorite films of 1989. All you who made it, 2 thumbs way up for that film. And, well, I end for Christmas Tradition 1. The second will be Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the TV special.